Hello everyone, welcome to the virtual class of Accounts of Underwriting Commission. In previous session, we have discussed a practical problem related to calculation of total liability and journal entries in the books of the company when the benefit of firm underwriting is given to the individual underwriters or not. Today, in this session, I would like to discuss a practical problem related to calculation of total liability and journal entries in the books of the company. I think now it is not new for us to calculate total liability of the underwriters and to prepare the journal entries in the books of the company, because preparation of journal entries and these all calculations are very much common, so simple for us. But as I said in previous 2-3 lectures, it is necessary for us to focus on the informations given by the examiner in the question in order to prepare our answer with 100% perfection. Let us refer the question first. Gaurav Limited makes a public issue of 1,50,000 shares of rupees 100 each at a premium of 40%. Face value of the share is rupees 100. These shares issued by the company at 40% premium. So issue price of the share is rupees 140. 100 rupees for face value and 40 rupees for premium. Underwriters Amar, Aman and Anam underwrite the whole issue of equal basis. Underwrite the whole issue means total number of shares issued by the company 1,50,000, and this issue is underwritten by 3 underwriters on equal basis. So 1,50,000 total number of shares issued by the company divided by 3 underwriters. So responsibility or say gross liability of each underwriter is of 50,000 shares. So in this way we can find out gross liability of the underwriters. Company has received total applications for 1,40,000 shares. Total number of shares issued by the company 1,50,000 and total number of applications received by the company 1,40,000. Particulars regarding applications received as under. Here, information regarding total number of applications received by the company are given in a specific table. Underwriter, applications regarding firm underwriting. In the second column of the question, information is given regarding firm underwriting. Third column is all about applications received by the company with unique identification stamp for individual underwriters, say marked applications. And here you can say total. Here total marked applications are ready-made given to us. You can easily connect the figures. 5,000 for firm underwriting, marked applications 40,000 and total marked applications 45,000. So here calculation of total marked applications is not required because this information is precisely given by the examiner to us in our question. But we have to keep one thing in our mind, that is situation related to benefit or credit is given to the underwriter or not given to the underwriter. So in this table the examiner has provided all informations regarding classification of the applications received by the company. For Amar, 5,000 firm underwriting, marked applications 40,000 and total applications received from Amar 45,000. Aman, second underwriter, 5,000 for firm underwriting, 45,000 for marked applications in general, and total applications received with the stamp of Aman 50,000. Anam, third underwriter, 3,000 for firm underwriting, 34,000 for marked application, and total applications received from the identification stamp of Aman 37,000. And unmarked applications are given at the end of the table 8,000. And total number of applications received by the company 1,40,000, which is given in the first paragraph of the question. So in this particular case, the examiner has precisely presented all the information related to classification of applications received by the company. We have to simply understand all the informations given in the question. The rate of underwriting commission is 5% on face value. Refer this information very properly. Here, the rate of underwriting commission is given at the rate of 5% on face value. Generally, the rate of underwriting commission is applicable on issue price. But here, the examiner has intentionally presented this information to us simply to misguide us, to distract us. But we have to focus on this information very properly. The rate of underwriting commission is 5% on face value. Determine liability of the underwriters and prepare journal entries in the books of the company. Here we have to determine the liability of Amar, Aman and Anam, and we have to prepare journal entries in the books of the company. Now, the most important part of this particular question. If you have referred the question very properly, the information regarding credit for the firm underwriting is given to the underwriter or not given to the underwriter is not mentioned in our question. As I discussed at the time of discussion of the theory for firm underwriting, as per the rule, if no information is given in the question, it means that the benefit of firm underwriting is not given to the underwriters. Take care of this information very clearly. If no information is given, it means that the credit for firm underwriting is not given to the individual underwriters. Now, after understanding the situation, it is necessary for us to move towards the solution of the problem. Let us prepare a table. A table showing calculation of net liability or total liability of underwriters. When credit for firm underwriting is not given, our situation is very much clear that we don't want to provide any benefit or credit to the firm underwriting. And we have to prepare our table with as many as required columns. Particular, underwriter Amar, underwriter Aman, and underwriter Anam. And the last column is gross liability as per agreement. As discussed by me at the time of discussion or explanation of the question, total number of shares issued by the company 1,50,000. And all three underwriters have taken underwriting of the shares equally. So 50,000 for Amar, 50,000 for Aman, and 50,000 for Anam. Less marked applications. This is the case of the benefit of firm underwriting is not given. It means we have to deduct only marked applications except the applications of firm underwriting. Simply you can check in your question, it is clearly mentioned that how many applications received by the company from the public with the stamp of underwriter Amar, Aman and Anam. It is given in the third column. So you can check third column of your question. Marked application 40,000, 45,000 and 34,000 for Amar, Aman and Anam respectively. So total number of marked applications received by the company from the public 1,19,000. Suppose the benefit of the firm underwriting is given to the underwriter, then the pattern of calculation, then the figures of marked applications will be going to change. But here the situation is very much clear. We don't want to provide any credit or benefit of firm underwriting to the underwriters. So always take care of the situation very properly. Remaining liabilities for Amar 10,000 shares, Aman 5,000 shares and Anam 16,000 shares, total 31,000. Less distribution of unmarked application in the ratio of the gross liability, that is equal 1:1:1. Now check first paragraph of your question. According to the information given to us in the first paragraph of the question, total number of applications received by the company 1,40,000 and total number of marked application except firm underwriting are 1,19,000. So 1,40,000 total number of applications received minus 1,19,000 is equal to 21,000. If you consider directly the figure given in the question, that is 8,000, definitely you will be on the wrong track. Why? Because the situation is different. Here the situation is benefit is not given. Suppose benefit is given, then it will be 8,000. So don't dependent on question only. Always try to apply your own analytical idea based on the informations given by the examiner. So total unmarked applications are 21,000 over here. We have to distribute, we have to transfer these 21,000 to Amar, Aman and Anam equally. So obviously 7,000 shares are transferred to Amar, Aman and Anam each. Now, after distribution of unmarked applications to the underwriters, balance available to the company 3,000 in the account of Amar, surplus of 2,000 available in the account of Aman and 9,000 required by Anam. Now, as you all know, the surplus available with any one or two underwriters will be transferred to the needy underwriters. So here surplus is available with Aman only, and Amar and Anam are in need of shares in order to satisfy their liabilities. So obviously we will distribute surplus of underwriter Aman among underwriter Amar and Anam in the ratio of their gross liability, and the ratio of their gross liability is 1:1. So surplus of 2,000 transferred to Amar and Anam, that is 1,000 shares each. Now we are at the point of the calculation where we can decide the net liability of underwriters. For underwriter Amar, net liability is to purchase 2000 shares. Underwriter Aman, no liability, and underwriter Anam is required to purchase 8000 shares. As it is a case of firm underwriting, so we have to add firm underwriting at the end in order to decide total liabilities of the underwriter. Amar has given firm underwriting for 5000 shares. Aman has also given firm underwriting for 5000 shares, and Anam has given underwriting for 3000 shares. So total liability of Amar 7000 shares, Aman 5000 shares, and Anam 11,000 shares. So in this way we can calculate total liability of individual underwriters. Now, after discussion of total liability of the underwriters, let us move to the next part of our solution. Next part of our solution is a calculation of underwriting commission. As per the information given by the examiner to us in our question, we have to calculate underwriting commission on face value, and that is why I have prepared the table of calculation on the basis of the required columns. First column underwriter, second number of shares underwritten. Third, generally we used to record issue price in third column, but here it is clearly mentioned that we have to charge underwriting commission at the rate of 5% on face value of the share. So don't forget, we have to charge underwriting commission at the rate of 5% on face value. So I have inserted third column as a face value, fourth column total face value, and last column commission at the rate of 5% of the total amount. Simply, if you concentrate on each and every information or condition given by the examiner in the question, you can calculate anything without any kind of mistake. So I have prepared all the columns as required in the question. Let us calculate for first underwriter Amar. Number of shares underwritten by Amar 50,000, face value per share 100, and total face value 50 lakhs. 5% of these 50 lakhs is rupees 2 lakhs 50,000. So total amount of commission payable to Amar 2 lakhs 50,000. Same way you can calculate for Aman and Anam. This is nothing more than repetition of the calculation, as the Amar, Aman and Anam underwritten equal number of shares. So as they have underwritten for equal number of shares, amount of underwriting commission for each underwriter remains same, that is rupees 2 lakhs 50,000 each, and total amount of underwriting commission is rupees 7 lakhs 50,000. 2 lakhs 50,000 for Amar, 2 lakhs 50,000 for Aman, and 2 lakhs 50,000 for Anam. So this is what a calculation of underwriting commission. Here we have to keep one thing in our mind, that for this question the examiner has clearly given information to us to calculate underwriting commission on face value. So we have followed that information, that instruction, and completed our calculation of underwriting commission on face value. Now moving towards third and next part of our solution, that is final settlement with underwriters. First column underwriter. Second, total liability of underwriter. We have completed calculation of total liability in the first table. Third, issue price per share. At this point of discussion, I would like to put to your notice that here we have to use issue price only. Don't consider face value only. As per the information, we have to calculate our underwriting commission on face value. Final settlement is not based on face value. So please just try to identify all important points given in the question. It is clearly mentioned that commission is based on face value, so we have to calculate commission only on face value. Rest of all other calculations are based on issue price per share. So simply follow a rule, do as directed. Now, third column is issue price. Fourth, amount receivable from underwriters, that is nothing more than multiplication of column number 2 and 3. Amount of commission payable to the underwriters, we have completed calculation of underwriting commission just before a few minutes. And last, final settlement. Now, come to the point. First is Amar. Total liability of underwriter Amar is 7,000 shares. Issue price 140 rupees. 100 rupees for face value and 40% premium, that is 40 rupees. So total amount 140 per share. So total amount 9,80,000. 7,000 shares multiplied by 140. Total 9,80,000. Amount of underwriting commission payable to underwriter Amar 2,50,000. 9,80,000 receivable from Amar, 2,50,000 payable to Amar. It means in a final settlement of the account, the company will receive 7,30,000 from underwriter Amar. Once you are clear for the pattern of calculation, it's a very easy for you to insert the figure, and it is nothing more than simple mathematics. Aman. Total liability of underwriter Aman, 5,000 shares. Issue price per share 140 rupees. Amount receivable from underwriter Aman 7 lakhs. 5,000 shares multiplied by 140. That is rupees 7 lakhs. Amount payable to underwriter Aman for underwriting commission 2,50,000. So 7 lakhs rupees receivable from Aman, 2,50,000 payable to the Aman. So in order to settle the account with underwriter Aman, the company will receive 4,50,000. And last, underwriter Anam. Responsibility of underwriter Anam is to purchase 11,000 shares in total at the rate of 140, that is issue price. So total amount receivable by the company from Anam 15,40,000, and the amount payable to the Anam for underwriting commission is 2,50,000. 15,40,000 receivable from Anam, 2,50,000 payable to Anam. So in order to settle the account, rupees 12,90,000 receivable for the company from underwriter Anam. This is very simple if you have practiced earlier questions. Now simply prepare the journal entries in the books of Gaurav Limited. First journal entry for the amount received on applications. Bank account debited 1,40,000 shares. Total number of applications received by the company multiplied by 140 rupees per share. 100 rupees for capital, and 40 rupees for premium. So total amount received by the company 1 crore 96 lakhs. Bank account debited 1 crore 96 lakhs to equity share application account 1 crore 96 lakhs. As the type of share is not given in the question, I have considered that it is issue of equity shares. Being amount received from the public on application for 1,40,000 shares at the rate of rupees 100 each with 40% premium. Now, allot the shares on the basis of applications received. Equity share application account debited. There is a mistake. We have to make it correct. It is 1 crore 96 lakhs. Let me write for you so as we can avoid the mistake. Equity share application account debited 1 crore 96 lakhs. To equity share capital account 1 crore 40 lakhs. 1,40,000 multiplied by 100 is equal to 1 crore 40 lakhs. And security premium account 1,40,000 multiplied by 40 is equal to 56,000. So equity share application account debited 1 crore 96 lakhs to equity share capital account 1 crore 40 lakhs to securities premium account 56,000. Now it is time to adjust the account with underwriters, and we have to transfer 7,000 shares to Amar, 5,000 shares to Aman, and 11,000 shares to Anam. So 7,000 shares multiplied by 140, so 9,80,000 rupees receivable from Amar. 5,000 shares multiplied by 140 per share, 7 lakhs rupees receivable from Aman. And 11,000 shares multiplied by 140 is equal to 15 lakhs 40,000 receivable from Anam. Total number of equity shares purchased by all three underwriters altogether 23,000 multiplied by face value of the share 100. So 23 lakhs credited to equity share capital account of the company, and security premium account is credited with 9 lakhs 20,000 rupees. That is nothing more than multiplication of numbers of shares 23,000 multiplied by amount of securities premium per share, that is rupees 40. So 23,000 multiplied by 40 is equal to 9 lakhs 20,000. Now, after passing the entry of number of shares allotted to the individual underwriters, let us move to the next entry, and it is all about underwriting commission. Total underwriting commission payable by the company is rupees 7,50,000, and amount payable to each underwriter is rupees 2,50,000. So journal entry: underwriting commission account debited rupees 7,50,000 to Amar's account 2,50,000, to Aman's account 2,50,000, and to Anam's account 2,50,000. 7,50,000 divided by 3 because their underwriting is in equal proportion. Now, last but not least, the entry of final settlement with underwriters. We have completed our calculation of final settlement in calculation number 3. Amount received by the company from underwriter Amar 7,30,000. 4,50,000 rupees received from Aman, that is a second underwriter, and 12,90,000 rupees received from third underwriter Anam. So 12,90,000 plus 4,50,000 plus 7,30,000. In this way, the company has received rupees 24,07,000 from underwriters in order to settle their account. Bank account debited 24,70,000 to Amar's account 7,30,000, to Aman's account 4,50,000, and to Anam's account 12 lakhs 90,000. I hope everyone is clear with the solution of this problem. Always try to understand the information given by the examiner first and then start solution of any problem. This is the key of success in the examination. Thank you. Keep watching the next sessions. God bless you.